This video is just to help you a little bit tonight before you get ready for your last test on the stats unit. Some of you have been working on the standard deviation. A couple things I want you to know that you will not have to memorize. You will be given this formula, and so make sure you understand what this means. This means add all of the difference of squares. We'll give you a table to organize it, and divide by the number in the list, however many there are on the list, and then take the square root of your answer. Remember, though, you can also do one variable stats and check your answer. So if you put everything in the list and calculate one variable stats, and make sure there's no frequency list, that this number right here, sigma, is what the standard deviation is. So if your calculation doesn't work out, you can make it work out. Same with the other things, the median and the quartiles. You're going to need to show how to do that, but you can double check your work. Okay, so we will give you this formula. The table on the test will be organized like this. Just make sure that, remember, when you square, you always get a positive. And something that is a positive distance away and a negative distance away, they're the same. It counts as the same standard deviation. The other thing that you will get is we will give you the percents. So you will have a chart that looks just like this. So within one standard deviation, and oftentimes I just write these as decimals and change them and know that everything underneath here adds up to 1. So basically you're using the word of and you're finding the percent and then your total number. So if you want to know how many are within one standard deviation of the mean, you would add the 0.3413, which is 0.6826. You'd add both of those and multiply it times the total. So if you had 500 in your total, take it times 500. Usually round it up to the nearest one. We found on the answer key there was a couple that were off a little bit, maybe by 1 or 2. As long as you're using these percents, you're okay. There's a feature on your calculator. If you want to look it up and figure out how to do it, you can. Watch a video. It's under distributions. We'll learn after how to do some of that for things that aren't nice. There's something called inverse norm, and there's something called norm CDF. If you want to look up those features, if you like to use your calculator, you can do that. You will be able to use the Wabbit calculator, but most of you won't need it. You'll just want to use the regular calculator or your own. That's fine. On any of these problems, as soon as you see a normal curve, make sure that you put the mean here, and then you just add standard deviations and subtract standard deviations on either side, and then your percents go right in there. So the percentage values align with the actual values that you have. The other thing is that your application paper with the heights, that is due at the end of the period. So if you want to not have that to worry about, you may want to finish that tonight. You've had that for 2 weeks. You may want to finish that tonight and have it ready when you come in. You'll have a little bit of time before the test, but I want to give you the whole test time if you need it so that you can get a chance to work on things. This is the last of the quizzes, and then after the quiz, we will have start reviewing for the final exam. So we have a couple days of review, and there's SRT a lot next week to get you ready for that, and then we will be done. If you want to look on my YouTube channel, there's some stuff on normal curves that has a calculator as well. There's stuff on cumulative frequency graph. You just got to look around for it. It's under the IB Unit 4 if you want to find more things. But really, any of these topics, if you type in, there's tons of videos on them if you need extra help.